reliable predictor for whether somebody is going to become a violent person themselves is whether they have witnessed abusive animals or people.
These are legally crime victims. There are people who simply will not take responsibility for this type of behavior.
What we are doing is holding the bad guys accountable. We're breaking the cycle in families. We're working together to help the people as well as the animal in our communities to live better lives.
We're able to be a voice for the animals.
About 3.5 years ago, a person who was working at that time as a victim advocate in the district attorney's office and was also a volunteer at the Bonnie Hayes Animal Shelter came to us and talked about the intersection between domestic violence and animal abuse. The multidisciplinary team was developed to take all the players that are involved in these issues, bring them together, and create long-term solutions to the problem. If a social worker is being called to do a welfare check, that social worker is looking to see, is there a dog in the corner that's cowering? And vice versa, when an animal services officer responds to a concern about a neglected animal, the animal services officer is looking around to see if there's a child in trouble. All these different actors come together and solve the problem and take these crimes seriously.
I'm a patrol deputy, so my first responsibility is to be able to go and investigate the crimes that are taking place or any reporting crimes that are taking place. Some of these crimes have come in as domestic violence or child abuse and are turning into animal abuse. And the MDT has really made our investigations so much stronger in the long run. We're able to take that so much further now and really secure and be a voice for the animals.
These are victims of crimes. They can't talk to us about what happened, obviously. And so you need someone who knows what they're looking for to really explain what's going on. This is how hard or how frequently this animal was abused, or this was how long this animal was neglected or starved, and put that out for the jury and so they can know this wasn't an accident, this was criminal.
I think a veterinarian's role in these cases is really critical, especially in providing expert testimony. I think it makes a big difference to have a veterinarian get up on the stand and explain to the jury what the findings were. That helps prosecute these cases.
The goal is to get involved, to prosecute these cases, and to stop criminal behavior before it goes any further. And so what I can say is, thankfully, we've been successful in all of our cases thus far.
It's important to understand that in domestic violence, when the perpetrator is doing the bad things they're doing to people, they are actually understanding the relationship that the victim has to their pets and the vulnerability that the victims have for the pets, and are often specifically targeting pets.
That creates a lot of anxiety for individuals that are fleeing domestic violence because they don't want to leave their pet in harm's way with their abuser, as well as they don't want to be separated by their family pet that they see as part of the family. Monica's House is the only domestic violence shelter in Washington County, and it serves as a safe and confidential location for individuals and families that are fleeing domestic violence. We are the only one in the Portland metro area that allows pets. We support all survivors of domestic violence.
I'm the director of a nonprofit corporation called the Little Dog Laughed Animal Assisted Therapy. We send volunteer teams of a handler and a dog into schools or, in most cases, domestic violence shelters to work with children. Ostensibly, we're teaching the children how to train the dogs, but in reality, we're talking about deeper things. And we use positive training techniques, which is all based on clear, unambiguous communication, positive reinforcement, no coercion. Exactly the message that these kids need to learn.
For these children whose only vision that they've ever seen of power and authority is often physical abuse, and that's the way they learn to get their way, all of a sudden they've got these happy little friendly dogs, and they learn that if you click them for doing something right and give them a treat and tell them they're wonderful, that's how they get their way.
So if they have an alternate way to see how to get what you want that's fun and pleasant for both parties, I think that's what gives me hope in the whole thing.
Those animals, just like children, they can't speak for themselves. They can't say, you know, the lashings that person gave me hurt, or the fact that I haven't had food for days hurts. It's up to us, animal control, first responders, people out in the community, get that voice out there.
Once we formed the MDT and we really sat down and planned out roles for everyone involved and how to best use all these resources and get everyone working together, we've had a great success rate in these cases. I'm just happy that all the hard work of our partners is being recognized and being supported. With or without the award, we would keep doing it and do it anyway, but it's nice to get the recognition.
It really, instead of being a hard job where you see sad things, it's a time of triumph and of joy and of really changing the basic fabric of the community and making the community a better place. And to have the Cameron Award understand that and acknowledge that means so much to all of us who are doing this work. It's a great time to be doing what we're doing.